Hi, my name is Chris Baransi, and I am principal architect and founder at EasyLaw AI. What is EasyLaw AI? EasyLaw AI is a branch of the micro SaaS and service platform factory where we focus on taking agentic and generative AI and bring it to life for companies. And with EasyLaw AI, what we do is focus on law firms, bringing in agentic and generative AI to law firms. And what does that mean? That means that we bring in agentic AI, which is the ability to use AI to think, but to also act. Think about replacing a lot of the manual workflows, some of the cognitive workflows that can be now done by AI, but actually making it actionable, right? No longer just AI thinking, but actually AI doing. And what makes us very special here at Easy Law AI is that we combine two things. We combine consultancy, the visionary sort of like aspect of AI, so we can actually set up your law firm for success using agentic AI over the next 20 years, so you can actually be quite different from your competitors and grow and scale and do things better, faster, and cheaper. But we also bring in actual tools that we can actually develop and sort of like infuse into your law firm. So you can call it frameworks, you can call it full-blown tools, you can call it solutions. And in this video, I have one of these solutions that I would like to share for you. This specific solution is an AI-powered document and workflow tool that has been deployed already to existing law firms. In some cases, law firms that are dealing with lemon law and other spaces. And this particular platform, what it does is it multiplies the output of paralegals and lawyers that are involved in collecting documents and analyzing them for cases, right? So in this case, this implementation was for a lemon law firm, and I will use this as an example to demonstrate the ability to use document AI, right, and agentic AI and smart workflows to replace existing not so smart, I should say, or dumb workflows, such as storing documents in SharePoint and other platforms like this. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log in. Well, actually, I'm going to do a sign up. Right? So as you can see in this sign up, you can have any one of your paralegals, any one of your lawyers kind of sign into the platform using their full name, their email, password, confirming password. And one of the cool things about this Easy Law AI, document AI, and assistant platform I'm demoing here is that we take security to the umpteenth degree. And one of the things that will happen here is when you do sign in, you'll be asked to actually confirm using an MFA code, multi-factor authentication, that will go to the email provided. We can also lock down the domain of the email being used to create the account. So again, I've already I've already created my account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in right now. Okay, so I'm logging into the platform, and it's performing security checks. And the first thing you'll see is it's going to ask me for an MFA code, right? A security code, which I'm going to wait for. That's going to come to my phone, which I just received. All right, and here we go. I have logged in, and the first thing you see is that we land into a screen where we say, hey, here are your cases. So imagine I'm a paralegal, right? And I am in charge of collecting documents, analyzing them, putting a case together that will be passed on to the attorneys in a lemon law case. All right. So again, this solution has been retrofitted for that. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to kind of click on new case. And then here I can actually enter case information, right? So I'm going to enter case information. I'm going to enter Francie. I'm just going to make up a middle name. And then I'm going to actually enter a VIN number here. Okay, I'm just going to grab the VIN number. Enter a VIN number. And again, this is a make-believe case. I want to make it very clear. This is no one's personal information. We've generated some real documents of fake data so we can actually do this demo. And now this deal ID is actually a HubSpot ID. So in this case, we're actually integrating into HubSpot so cases created here, I actually updated into HubSpot, as well as because this platform is also what's called API first, we can actually connect this platform directly into HubSpot. And how our clients are using this is once a deal gets triggered in HubSpot, it automatically creates a case. So in some cases, we do not even need to manually create this new case here. It will be done automatically via the deal ID for HubSpot. Now, I do have I'm going to pretend like I have a spouse on this particular case. So I'm going to enter that too. All right. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to create the case. When I create the case, I'm going to be brought into the case management flow immediately. So as you can see here, I'm brought into the case management flow. And what you're going to see is going to see a bunch of stuff in here, right? I can log off, obviously. I have a document navigator. I start seeing some case details. Here, you're going to see all the documents pop up with data as I use AI to analyze them. You're going to have a section for proof documents. You do have a marvelous section for that uses AI to perform actions on certain documents. I'll come back to that in a second. And then the pièce de resistance, if you will, is that we do have this case generation, which you see is disabled right now. But this is where we have an AI assistant that lives, that can grade, write demand letters, and so on. So let's jump into it by actually going through what a normal case flow would look like. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a vehicle registration. Okay. Right, so uploading some documents. I'm going to upload a bunch of documents at the same time. So this one is going to be a vehicle registration, and then I'm going to do the sales contract, and then I'm going to do repair orders. And as you can see, pretty clean, right? Pretty smooth. I'm just doing some sample repair orders as for the demo, right? As you can see, and now they're being processed. All right, so now all our documents have been processed, and a big thing that you saw here was that we could process multiple documents at a time. I'm actually going to show another means of uploading the document. I can click here, and we're just going to do repair order 3 because we have 2 more I wanted to do, and I want to do repair order 4. All right, so these are like all the repair orders coming in for a particular case. So as you can see, this is working all asynchronously, all simultaneously. So pretty quick, pretty fast. And I'm going to show you what's happening. So if you look on the right hand side, you will see that we've uploaded 4 documents, right? All these documents are here, and let's get into some of the cool stuff, right? So first things first, let's look at our sales contract. So I can click on a review. And again, this is not real information. This is just me making up a document for a sales contract, but this can work on pretty much any sales contract across, the thousands of dealerships across the US. It will work. As you can see on the right hand side, we have all the extracted data coming from that document, seller name, purchase, primary buyer, and you start seeing some very interesting things. You'll see, for example, for one, that the name doesn't directly match the case. It's a little bit off, and that's a nice little flag because the name of the case is Chris Moranci. This one is Chris A. Moranci, so it shows a little flag, but nothing too much. But you'll see everything else is extracted properly: the VIN, the condition of the vehicle, the mileage, the type of transaction it was, and all that kind of cool stuff, right? So one of the cool capabilities of this, though, is that I can also, in real time, do voice. Okay, so for example, I just want to change this to Chris Moranci because this is correct. Just a quick change. I can do this multiple ways, right? I can do this by clicking on this pencil here and just changing it. So let's just say we change it to Roger Gray. And again, obviously, that's wrong, right? I can do that. Right, you can see this is making a real-time update to Roger Gray. And you can see it's saying that it's manually set to 100%. And I can record an audio note. I'm looking at a bill of sale. The name on the bill of sale is Chris Moranci. So Chris, Chris, Moranci, Morancie. That is the primary buyer name. I close. You can see the platform is using AI to transcribe the audio. Sorry. Right. So, and again, this is a realistic, demo. So I apply here and I close, and you can see right here, it changes my name to Chris Moranci, right? And I could have had a whole conversation. So I kind of come in here, I add an E because I wanted to, again, I can save. And then the other thing that I can do now is I can just look at this document and go ahead and just approve it. So imagine like a paralegal working through. I just come hit plus, I hit check, 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 check. And I don't have to do that, but if you just want to do it, just say, hey, everything is fine. You hit check, and it goes like, okay, this is an approved document. The other thing that we can do here is change the name any document, right? So let's come here. I say approved purchase. Obviously, the AI chose a name already, but we can actually do that. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to approve the document. I'm going to do the same thing here for my repair orders. So let's review them. You can see, again, they're coming in. There's some pieces of information that the AI doesn't like. The AI says, well, I see it's an engine repair, but what I want is, the actual name, either repair order, warranty, recall, or maintenance. So I can come in here and I can just go like, okay, it's a repair order. So all right, let's change that. And you can see that's actually green now. And I can just come here, do the same thing. And I can say, hey, on the warranty, it says the AI confidence says it's 50% sure that this is on the warranty. I can just come in and confirm and say, yep, you're right on the warranty. And you can see that's all green now. So I can close that. I approve that. And the same thing, I look at the different orders and the same thing. I can go like, here, this is a repair order. All right, I'm going to confirm that it's on the warranty. Right, I can approve that. No, there's other ways to actually do that too as well. I can come here, to here, and if I click on here, I can see the same thing here. Right, you can actually see that information here on the right hand side. And if there's any documents with validation issues, like right here, you can see there's a tab that shows validation issues, and AI is giving me a suggestion. It says, hey, my suggestion is that this is a repair order. So I click on accept. It changes it. You see that this went away. The validation went away. Same thing for the second one. It says, I recommend that a transmission repair is a repair order. I accept. This goes away. And you can see now none of my documents have any more validation issues. So that looks really good, really good. I can again come in here. I can approve that. Now, the one that I kept for last year is the vehicle registration. Vehicle registrations have been very clearly trained to be on valid vehicle registrations for the 50 states. So if I go in here with my sample, it's not gonna like that at all, right? Which is something that I wanted to show. Again, that is just an extra piece of security. It says, look, man, someone's trying to spoof a vehicle registration. So it just acts really bad. It goes like, no, this is really bad data. So what I can do is I can actually come in here. I can actually, set things by editing them manually. This is a perfect case, a perfect opportunity to show the voice recording capability of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to record an audio note. This is a vehicle registration information. The VIN number is 1FTRX18W67KD12345. Owner name is Chris Moranci. Chris Moranci. License plate FLX1234. Registration state is in Florida, FL. Expiration date is 2026, July on the 15th. The vehicle make is a Ford. The vehicle model is a F-150, and the vehicle here is 2025. In every single case, it's always faster to talk than to type. Plus, you're using AI here to transcribe the audio. That audio is saved for auditing purposes. And then from there, we're going to get some transcription from that, and we're able to apply it to the document. You see that right here? Florida, Chris Moranci, VIN, expiration date for the F-150. This is my license plate. I close it, right? Okay, and then I just kind of do a little bit of a refresh. Right, and when I do the refresh, I can go ahead and I can check my documents. Right, so it's kind of loading my approved documents right now. And I can actually go to my vehicle registration, right? And you can see it had a little bit of an issue. And again, this is a live demo. I'm not trying to pretend. This is really like how the world really works. So let's say this happened. We could do it again, all right? We could try and we can do it again. So let's do it again. Florida registration, VIN, 1FTRX186W67KD 12345. Owner name Chris Moranci. License plate FLX1234. Registration state FL. Expiration date 2026 07/15. Vehicle make Ford. Vehicle model F-150. Vehicle year 2023. Okay. And I believe what's happening here is that because this registration is really not a Florida registration, the system, because of security again, is rejecting it. It doesn't want to update it. So I'm going to have to do a manual override, a manual override. All right. So all these things are actually built in. Right. It really doesn't like me overriding this. It's document. And as I said, I'm going to try to do this now manually. Yes, it just doesn't like me changing a document that's not really a vehicle registration. Again, this is good. It's a little bit annoying for a demo, but it's good to actually sort of like record this, right? See that these are sort of like the built-in things within the platform. So I'm just going to close this out. I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to still move forward with the recording here. And again, this is a good thing, right? It sort of like shows sort of like the built-in capabilities of the platform prevents, like, these are called guardrails in agentic AI to prevent any malicious actions on someone's doing. So again, the vehicle registration has been very much trained to recognize a document that looks like fraud. So it's rejecting that. But anyway, we can actually move forward. So we have some documents. I can see they're all here in our approved documents. And I just want to touch really quickly on some AI utilities in here as well. A lot of times clients send in information that are not PDFs. So this is an AI utility that can actually convert any file into a PDF, which we need. Again, this is based on how most law firms we understand work. You need a PDF, so we can convert any document into a PDF. And then this one right here is an AI utility that allows us to take multiple documents and merge them in one. A lot of time clients are sending in, like, for example, photos that they take from the iPhone. Let's say of a repair order, a multiple page repair order, and they send it in as an email, right? So this utility allows us to merge these documents into one PDF. Right? Now, for the huge part of this is going to be our AI assistant. So I'm going to click on case generation. And as you can see, the AI assistant is now evaluating the case and getting ready to help us. All right. Now, the AI assistant has finished doing its job. And the first thing it's going to do, it creates right off the bat a case summary. See, and this is a case summary that is extremely needed within this client's workflow in terms of lemon law. And these are usually sent out to the attorneys. So I am going to build a report for the attorney who's in charge of this case. I'm going to attach it to my report. And then you'll see that the AI also makes a decision as to which state the lemon law claim could be applied. Now, if you're not in lemon law, you're in tax, right? In tax law and different various laws, verticals, you'll understand that we can do the same thing here in your space, right? Because what's happening here behind the scenes is that the AI agent knows about the law across the statutes and the law in each state. And it looks at all that information. It looks at the case information and it says, I recommend that you file this in this particular state because you have a higher probability of winning in this particular state. Okay, and again, in this case, for lemon law, you're able to file, I believe, a case where the vehicle was purchased or the repairs were done. So the AI can look at all the repair orders with the purchase history, all that stuff, and say, and look at the type of repair orders, look at the type of purchase, and go like, look, based on the laws for these different states, you're more likely to win it in this state. And then it does a recommendation. And not only does it do a recommendation, the case summary, the analysis I'm going to show you, the demand letter, right? Even the conversation with the AI assistant is going to be based around that state's lemon law. So next thing I want to do here, I want to perform an analysis on the case, see what's the AI recommends that we do with it. So right now, yep. And he says, look, so far this case is a B plus, right? So the strengths, multiple significant issues, all repairs attempted occurred within a reasonable amount of time from the purchase date and exceed the Florida standard lemon law 15-day requirement for vehicle non-use due to repairs. And you have documented that substantiates the claim. The individual issues with the vehicles will each addressed and similarly resolved in a singular visit, which might be argued as the manufacturer dealer having appropriately responded to the problems rather than showing a persistent inability to rectify them, which could weaken the lemon law case, right? So it's actually recommending that you send the retainer and move to doc, like overall doc collection for the final part of the workflow, right? So in this case, what we can do, I'm going to attach this to the report. That's going to go out to the lawyer as well. And then the next thing that we can do here is we can do some pretty interesting things. I can actually go in here. I can actually generate a demand letter. And again, this is the AI acting as a lawyer, writing a demand letter specific to the case. So let's see what that looks like. There we go. And here's our demand letter. It says, you say, hey, law firm here. It says, and you can see very specific demand letter. Very specific demand letter, along with summary of vehicle issues, transaction details, legal basis for the lemon law claim, very specific to that particular state, next steps, and then also anything that you want to send as an enclosure that again is very specific to the case, right? So pretty cool stuff, right, so far. And as I said, I'm going to attach it to the report for the lawyer, and then I'm going to ship it. When I say ship it, that's like the paralegal sending it to the lawyer. And in this case, I'm sending it to myself as the lawyer. And I'm going to show you what the lawyer's view is now going to look like. So this is a space where the paralegal is working with the AI assistant. And now an email goes out to the lawyer. I cannot show my email, but just imagine an email is received with a link. And then the lawyer clicks on that and is brought in here automatically to the lawyer view. And you can see the lawyer can then look at all the documents that were provided, right? Just to kind of look at it themselves. They can provide feedback. They can see the case grading. They can see the case summary. They can view the demand letter themselves, so they can actually do an approval of it, and then send it out themselves, right? Or just kind of copy it down and then tweak it and then send it. Again, this is saving like a massive amount of time. And even more importantly, the lawyer can do things like have a conversation with the assistant. So here's a real conversation. This case is really close to being a lock. Write me an email that we could send out to the client to strengthen this case. Right? And this is a real email. This is a real email. Right? That can be sent out. And let's just say I ask another question. I can say something like this: looks good, but we can do better. Any specific things we can ask for that we post this case should be added to your email. There you go. No, that's a better email. Right? And then someone can actually use it and kind of send that off. So this is the lawyer view with an assistant. So previously, the lawyer would have to go back to the paralegals and ask questions, ask to send emails. Now the lawyer has his or her own email, AI assistant, as well as the paralegal and the one managing the document inflow has their own AI assistant. And what's really cool is that the both AI assistants use the same brain, but they act a little bit differently. The AI assistant for the lawyer is trained to do more lawyer things, and the one for the paralegal is trained to do more paralegal things, but also a little bit of lawyer activities so that the lawyers don't have to be disturbed that much, right? So again,
This is a walkthrough through this real platform that is really being used by clients right now. I have one law firm who's moving from doing 150 cases a month to 1,000 cases a month, the same amount of people by using this platform. Because now they can actually process documents faster. There's less reliance on the lawyers throughout the process. And then the lawyers are getting more complete cases and they don't have to wait for information back and forth from the paralegals because they can just talk to the AI assistant, which has all the information that the paralegal has. So again, substantially transforming the business. All right. So again, my name is Chris Moranci, and I look forward to any questions that you may have about how at EasyLaw AI we can actually help your law firm move to the next level using agentic and generative AI. Thank you so much.